conference. Saturday's matchup with second-ranked Ohio State will be the fourth meeting between the two teams, all in bowl contests, with Clemson winning all 3 games. In their last meeting, the Tigers posted a 31-0 victory over the Buckeyes in the 2016 CFP playoff semifinal here at the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl, en route to taking the national title. The Tigers are led by head coach Dabo Swinney, now in his 12th season. With a 129-30 head coaching record, he has guided the Tigers to 2 national championships in the last 3 years. Joining him today are offensive tackle Tremaine Ankrum, who hopes to enter broadcasting following his football career, and safety Kayvon Wallace, who just became the first 4-year college graduate in his family. At this time, I'll turn it over to Coach Swinney.
All right, thank you. First of all, let me say Tremaine Ankrum is going to be an incredible broadcaster. When I first met him, I don't know if he remembers this, but he wanted to be a weatherman. And now he has come full circle, and he has found his passion and purpose in life, and that's what college is all about. So I was going to be a doctor and ended up being a football coach. So anyway, he'll be awesome. But we're just happy to be here, just blessed to have the type of season that we had. Obviously, you got to get picked to be here. Everybody's saying thank you for being here. I'm like, shoot, thank you for having us, because you got to get picked to come here. We didn't really get a choice, so we're just thankful to get to be out here in Arizona. And we came out here, I guess, in 2016, and we're a very young team, and the majority of our team has not been here. Just our 4th-year juniors and true seniors, but most of our team has not been to Arizona. So it's a really great trip, something we're really excited about, and just very appreciative of all the hospitality. I was out here as a player way back in '90 as well, so just great memories, great experiences, the hospitality, and looking forward to a great week and an incredible matchup with an awesome team in Ohio State. So it should be exciting for everybody.
We'll open it up.
Kayvon over here, our safety. Glad to have him. Just graduated Thursday. So how about that?
We'll open it up for questions. If you do have a question, if you could raise your hand and make sure we get a mic to you so everyone can hear. We'll start over here, second row on the right.
Hey, Dabo, Will Vandervoort with the Clemson Insider. Dabo, just want to make sure everybody made it here, everybody safely, everything. You got everybody from the team?
Everybody's here.
Over here on the far left.
Dabo, Ryan Day was talking earlier about with the compressed schedule being so different from previous years, trying to balance keeping your team fresh with also keeping them physically ready. Can you reflect on how that process has gone with you guys?
Yeah, it's been good. I just tried to rely on past experience, but it was very different. It was actually something I put a lot of thought into really last May. I do a calendar every year, kind of a 13-month calendar, July through the next August, and I always plan like we're going to win it all, and then if we don't get there, then we'll adjust. But I just kind of plan that way, and so I actually had to think a lot about it. In fact, I questioned Mike Dooley, my operations guy, when we were first going through the calendar. I'm like, wait a minute, this can't be right. I was into December, and this is last May, and I'm going, this isn't right. But he was right. I argued with him for a little while, and he was right. I was wrong. But we really lost a week this year. It was a strange deal because the championship games were a week later, and so it's very compressed. Past years, we've been able to play the championship game and then basically have to give our players off a week and a half. And then we would start bowl prep and have another week and a half in town before we would break for Christmas. And so just different, lost a week, but it's been great. These guys, we sat down, actually talked about it with our seniors, kind of what I felt like the best thing to do. And because you do have to give them some time off. It's a long season when you play 13 games and 2 open dates, so there's a lot of practice. These guys have been going since July 31st. So having that balance of giving them a little bit of a break, but also getting them physically prepared for what they're going to see, because in the game of football, it doesn't take long to kind of, lose your edge, if you will. So I think we had a good balance of mental prep, conditioning, working on Clemson, fundamentals, technique, and then, game plan for Ohio State. So, and a little bit of good on good, just enough full pads work, I think, to keep us sharp. But then we gave them 3 days off. So we went through Wednesday, gave them Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we came back together this morning, meetings, kind of had a jog through type practice, and now here we are. So we'll have a normal week, and I'm excited about it.
Question here on the second row, far right.
It's for both players. Guys, you were here in 16. What do you remember about the experience and then also the game itself and playing Ohio State?
Check, make sure you can hear me. What I remember most, I was a young man, so I was, kind of nervous, didn't really know what to expect. I was kind of thrown into it. So I kind of remember the atmosphere was very business-like, but we also, knew how to have fun. And, he kept us engaged throughout the whole bowl prep. It was a little different. We had more time. But I remember the level of competition being high, not only in the game, but what prepared us the most was the level of competition in practice and how we did sharpen iron on iron. And that kind of edge that those older guys brought that taught to us, that we can carry on through the younger generations, that, hey, it's always game time. And, we just don't get up for games like this. We treat games like this like we do week 6, week 7. While the preparation may be a little different, we still keep the same formula for excellence. So, keeping that same formula through now is similar to how we were last time.
Something I can remember, I was a true freshman. Going in, having to play my role. I was a third down guy, so making sure I got, everything that I need to get done to play well for my team. We was a very locked in, focused team. Didn't lose any focus. It wasn't, a trip to go have fun. It wasn't a trip to have a vacation. It was locked in. We knew what we wanted to do, and we came, and we saw and we conquered.
One more question here on the left.
Debo, how excited do you think Jackson is right now, going up against Ohio State, obviously, and then that number 2 they have on that side of the ball?
Oh, man, Jackson Carman is super excited. It's kind of neat experience when you go against your school, hometown school, and it's a neat experience, and I've experienced it in a different way as a coach. Obviously, going against Alabama, and but I think at the end of the day, when the game kicks off, it's just about the game, and but Jackson's excited, and then regardless of who you're playing, as a competitor, you always get excited to play great players, and they have a great defense. They have a great defensive line, not just number 2. He certainly has earned all of his recognition, but I think their entire defensive line is pretty special. They're deep, they're physical. Those guys come off the ball, penetrate, new line of scrimmage, and again they've got a bunch of guys they roll in there, but certainly number 2, headlines the way. So Tremaine and Jackson, I'm sure we'll have to battle with him, and again. He's a great competitor. We got great competitors, and it should be a great matchup.
Any other questions? We'll take one more here on the front row.
Dabo, Richard Moore with the Arizona Republic. You've been in Arizona, I think, 3 times the last 5 years for games such as these. Can you draw on that experience at all, or is really every game independent of one another?
Did you say experience from being here?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that certainly experience is a great teacher, but it's a new team. Like I said, we got very few that have been out here. We don't have a big senior class, and that's the only group that's been here. So most of these guys, it's a new experience for them. But we've been in a lot of big games, and all of our true juniors and true sophomores have played in big games. And as Tremaine said, we really treat every game as a big game. We really do, and I think that's why we've been so consistent. is we try to put our best foot forward, and we try to play Clemson every week. So, you know, it's exciting. This is a little different in that obviously you're away, and it's a bowl site, and you know, different logistics and things like that. And so our experience hopefully will help us just kind of navigate that. But at the end of the day, man, we got a routine that we believe in, and we'll stick to it. But at the same time, also enjoy the week and you know, participating in all the things that are available to us.
This concludes today's press conference. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a nice evening.